The Toyota 4Runner has been the same rugged SUV for over a decade, dependable, yes, but honestly outdated. Now, for 2025, everything changes. Toyota dropped the old V6 and replaced it with a turbocharged hybrid powertrain that cranks out more torque than a V8 while sipping less fuel than before. Add in a full redesign inside and out, and this might be the boldest 4Runner ever built. But here's the big question: did Toyota make it better, or ruin the classic formula? The Toyota 4Runner has always been one of those SUVs you buy if you want something that lasts forever. For decades, it's built its reputation on toughness, off-road grit, and the kind of reliability that makes people hold on to theirs for 200,000 miles or more. But until now, it's also been stuck in time. The last generation stayed on sale for over a decade with almost no real updates, which made it charming for die-hard fans but way behind the competition in technology, comfort, and efficiency. That's what makes the 2025 Toyota 4Runner such a big deal. This isn't a mild refresh. Toyota has completely redesigned it from the ground up, using the same platform as the Tundra and the new Land Cruiser. And instead of sticking with the old V6, they've introduced something totally different, a turbocharged hybrid powertrain that promises more power, more torque, and better fuel economy, all at the same time. Toyota isn't just targeting its loyal off-road crowd anymore. They're aiming straight at rivals like the Jeep Wrangler and Ford Bronco, while also trying to lure in everyday drivers who want a capable SUV that doesn't feel ancient inside. So, is this the perfect blend of rugged tradition and modern innovation, or has Toyota taken too many risks with a proven formula? In the next section, we'll break down everything: design, interior, performance, and whether this new 4Runner truly lives up to its legendary name. Let's start with the first thing you notice: the exterior. The 2025 4Runner hasn't gone soft. It's still boxy, still muscular, and still looks like it could climb a mountain without breaking a sweat. But now, the proportions are sharper and more modern. Up front, you get slim LED headlights that cut into a wide, aggressive grille. The fender flares bulge just enough to make it look tough, and the TRD Pro trim piles on roof racks, skid plates, and chunky all-terrain tires. It's the kind of SUV that looks equally at home in a Whole Foods parking lot or halfway up a rocky trail in Moab. Step inside, though, and you'll realize this is where Toyota made the biggest leap. Gone are the days of hard plastics and an interior that looked a decade out of date. The dashboard now has a clean, horizontal design with soft-touch surfaces and a giant 14-inch touchscreen front and center on higher trims. The interface is smooth, easy to use, and finally feels like it belongs in 2025. There's even a 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster available, which brings the driving experience into the modern era. And yes, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are standard. Now, here's where things get interesting: the powertrain. Instead of the old V6, Toyota has dropped in its new iForce Max hybrid turbocharged 4-cylinder. That may sound like a downgrade on paper, but the numbers tell a different story. We're talking 326 horsepower and 465 pound-feet of torque. That's more torque than the outgoing engine ever dreamed of, and it comes on instantly, thanks to the electric motor assist. On the road, acceleration feels smoother and more confident, while towing capacity climbs to around 6,000 pounds. But it's not just about raw power. Fuel economy is where this SUV really flips the script. The last generation barely managed 17 mpg combined. With the hybrid setup, Toyota is aiming for something in the mid-20s. That's not Prius-level efficiency, but for a body-on-frame SUV that can handle serious off-road duty, it's a game-changer. Speaking of off-road, Toyota hasn't forgotten its roots. TRD trims come with upgraded suspension, skid plates, crawl control, and even a new underbody camera so you can see obstacles hidden below the nose of the SUV. Locking differentials, multiple terrain modes, and standard four-wheel drive on higher trims make this thing just as capable as the legend it replaces. In fact, Toyota claims it's the most capable 4Runner ever, and from what we've seen so far, that might actually be true. Safety has also taken a big step forward. Toyota Safety Sense 3.0 is standard, which means adaptive cruise, lane keeping, blind spot monitoring, and pre-collision braking are baked in. It's not perfect. Ford and Hyundai still offer slightly more advanced systems, but it's a huge improvement compared to what 4Runner drivers had before. And then there's the price. Toyota hasn't released every trim level yet, but expect a starting price in the mid-$40,000s, with loaded TRD Pro models pushing well into the $60,000 range. That puts it right against the Jeep Wrangler Rubicon and Ford Bronco Raptor, and here's the kicker: Toyota's legendary reliability might give it an edge when buyers think long-term. So, with more power, better tech, and improved efficiency, the 2025 4Runner sounds like a total win. But before you rush to the dealership, there are some drawbacks you should know about and a few surprising limitations that might make you think twice. Let's break those down next. Here's where everything comes together. How does the 2025 Toyota 4Runner TRD iForce Max actually feel on the road and off it? Honestly, it's a shock. The moment you hit the throttle, you forget this thing is a 4-cylinder hybrid. The torque comes on instantly, shoving the SUV forward with the kind of authority you'd expect from a V8. Passing on the highway is effortless, and towing feels more stable than before. It's not a sports car, far from it, but for a body-on-frame SUV, it feels more confident and composed than the old model ever did. Off-road, the story gets even more interesting. The hybrid system delivers power right when you need it, making steep climbs and rocky trails feel easier to conquer. The suspension soaks up bumps without beating you up, and that underbody camera? A total lifesaver when you're trying to pick your line over jagged rocks. This is not just a capable SUV, it's one of the most well-rounded adventure rigs Toyota has ever built. But here's the twist: as good as it is, it's not perfect. The hybrid setup adds weight, and you can feel it in tighter corners. The steering is still heavy, and while the cabin tech is improved, it doesn't quite match the slickness of what Ford or Hyundai are offering right now. And then there's the price: mid-$60,000 for a TRD Pro is a lot of money, even for a legend like the 4Runner. So, has Toyota nailed the balance of tradition and progress? Or has the 4Runner become a victim of modern compromises? That's where the verdict comes in, and it might surprise you. So, after spending time with the 2025 Toyota 4Runner TRD iForce Max, what's the final verdict? Toyota has pulled off something rare: a complete overhaul of a classic without stripping away its identity. The 4Runner still feels rugged, still looks the part, and still offers the kind of off-road capability its fans demand. But now, it comes wrapped in a package that finally feels modern, with tech, efficiency, and performance that can compete in today's market. Here's the breakdown: if you're looking for a dependable, family-friendly SUV with some weekend adventure chops, the lower trims of the 4Runner will serve you well, especially with their improved fuel economy and upgraded interior. But if you're an off-road enthusiast, the TRD trims, particularly the TRD Pro, are where this SUV shines, even if the price tag pushes into luxury territory. Of course, it's not flawless. The hybrid system's extra weight can make it feel less agile on twisty roads, and Toyota's tech, while much better, still isn't best in class. And let's be honest, $60,000 plus is a lot of money, especially when Jeep and Ford offer equally capable alternatives with different personalities. But here's why this launch matters. In a world where many SUVs are becoming soft, crossover-like appliances, Toyota doubled down on durability and off-road credibility while still giving buyers the modern conveniences they expect. This 4Runner isn't just relevant, it may set the tone for how rugged SUVs evolve in the next decade. So, what do you think? Did Toyota create the perfect blend of old-school toughness and new-school tech, or has the 4Runner lost some of its charm? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear from longtime fans and first-time buyers alike. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more real-world car reviews coming your way.